Hello there, welcome to my channel. Today I have a speed build for you. I was inspired for some reason to do a cottage build. I was just in the mood to do some kind of, I guess, cottage core, more like granny core, because this is called Granny's Cottage. And it is basically, I took some photos from like English cottages and was inspired to go off of that sort of aesthetic, but the indoor section I did all on my own inspiration. And I used a lot of store items in this build, I will say it, because a lot of the store items are what are able to give me the aesthetic that I wanted to go for. And yeah, I just wanted to preface that. I always do, just in case. But this is a 2-bedroom home. It's a 1.5 bathroom. There is a full kitchen with a dining space. There is a living room that's kind of a little cramped, but in a cozy way. I do kind of maneuver things around a bit to make it fit better. There is an office on the first floor. It has its own room. And then the 2 bedrooms are upstairs, as well as a full bathroom. I did also have a little garden I put in the back, a little bit of a front yard space. And I also added some stuff for a cat. Sometimes a granny, grandma, they like to have a pet, have a cat. So I added some stuff for them. I have a cat bed on the second floor and stuff like that. But I go for a lot of more pastel colors with this build, which I don't get to do often. At first I was going for more darker green tones, and I kind of changed it completely because there was just one couch I wanted for the living room, and it was a very specific one, and I was like, I have to make it mix and match around this. So I ended up doing that. But yeah, this is the office space, and I for this one it has a little bit of a darker color just because it is an office. I feel like offices always have more of a like a darker tone and aesthetic to them. Sometimes I feel like it looks nice, so I kind of go for that with like the green here. I do like this color green. I guess sometimes a preference for people, but I enjoyed it. And I just put here, I believe, yeah, a fish tank because the chest table wasn't fitting, unfortunately. But it's nice to have a nice fish tank. Look at some fish, have a nice another pet here in case she doesn't want the cat. But yeah, and then I put a bookcase here as well, so you can sit in a little corner and they can read, or they can do some work on the computer and stuff. I wanted to have different stories available for this house. So maybe it could be a sim that is retired from their job and they're an elder, and maybe they do some freelance writing or something, or they're a gardener, because there is going to be a bit of gardening space. And yeah, so this is the couch I was talking about. I do not keep these colors whatsoever, so don't even worry. Like, they probably don't look that great right now, but I loved the quilt that was on top of it. I loved the idea. That was kind of what inspired me to do like the granny's like type of cottage, because it's just like, I love the coziness of the way that couch looks. It's so adorable, and I didn't realize it until later when I switch it. You'll see in a moment. There's different swatches with different color quilts on them with different patterns, and I was so excited, and I was like, wait, there's more here I didn't even notice. Like, there's some items I just never use that I have from the store, and it's because sometimes you go for your favorite type of aesthetics or themes and stuff, and I don't always get to branch out and do other things depending on what type of gameplay style I'm doing. So doing builds like this really allows me to get more creative, which I love doing, and I'm kind of in a building mood lately, so you may see more builds from me, build videos. You might not. I'm not going to keep a promise or anything, but yeah, so this is the couch that, like, the swatch that I end up going for. I really liked the idea of like the pastel pink and blue instead, so I kind of switch it to that. And we have some stuff for the granny's living room here, so I do add a bit of decor to make it look a bit more older. So I add some, it's mostly store content because that's where the bulk of it gives the aesthetic for, but I add like a coat rack and these old jazz photos, and there's like the record player on the corner there so they can play music and stuff. If you have a knitting mod, which if you don't know about it, I think the knitting mod is by someone named Zoe. It's on Mod The Sims. If you just look it up, you'll find it. But this would probably go great with a house like this because they can knit different things, and even maybe sewing if you can fit like a sewing machine somewhere in there if you have the sewing mod machine. But many different storylines, many different things for Sims to do and stuff that you could probably fit with this theme. And yeah, I had fun with it. If, as you can tell, I was struggling at first to do the color swatch for the couch, but I ended up going with that. And then the rug, I kind of had that to tie it in together with the pink and stuff like that. And I kind of like this wallpaper. It's a little bit loud, but I felt like it worked really well with the type of theme that I was going for, so I went with that. And I kind of mix and match. I put more pastel, like green and stuff, so I kind of tried to mix different colors but stay like in the pastel type of theme that I was going for. And yeah, so here I am. I'm doing more, like I said, I have like the coat rack, and I have like little jazz photos here. That's maybe memories. Maybe this girl, this woman, or whoever it is, maybe they were in a jazz band when they were younger. It's their glory days or fun days, you know what I mean? But this is the second bedroom that I add, and it could be a flexible story. This could also be a family that lives here. They have 2 kids, or this could be when their kids come to visit or their grandkids come to visit, and they have an extra, guest space, and there's 2 beds there, But I do spruce it up in a way that has a theme for Sims who like sports, so I kind of just stick with that. I originally had like that lamp and stuff. I do change it eventually, but I don't know if I do that on camera. I might do it off camera, but yeah, I go more for the sports theme because I end up thinking that looks a little bit better. And this, I like changing the light color sometimes. For some reason, this looked like it was a lava lamp, but I wasn't sure because it wasn't moving or anything, and it's really like an interesting looking lamp, so I made it the green color just in case. But yeah, I love that beanbag chair, so I used that swatch with like a little emoji face. I thought that was kind of cute to add that there. And I do end up changing the color of that rug and that picture and stuff, so you'll see that later. I don't think I do it right away, but yeah, I'm just adding some of the little touches here. Again, this stuff here, I kind of like change my mind a bit. It's a whole process I go through. I kind of like go back and forth. Sometimes I'll go back into rooms and you'll see me do that. I might cut it out, I might not. Bathrooms I cut out completely because it's just a bathroom. There's not much to show with the bathroom. I always say this, but it's only so much you can do with the bathroom before it gets repetitive. But yeah, and this swatch, I really like this swatch for this build. It's like, a handmade quilt. Maybe she made this quilt or something, So, and she used it for her bed, and it's like their most like prized possession, like the item that they made. They're so proud of it, or I don't know, and just a little bit of a story background there I have in my mind sometimes when I'm doing like decorating and stuff. But yeah, this is the main bedroom, of course. I add a dresser. I tried to go for more of an older aged look, if that's the correct way to describe it. So like that antique looking dresser, right? The armoire, I guess that's the word you would call it. And the that like tall mirror and stuff like that. But I do add a bit of like bright colors and stuff with those curtains. I really like those curtains from Seasons. I forget they're there sometimes, but they have that nice ombre effect if you go into one of the swatches. I really, really like it. And yeah, this is where I end up changing the idea, like I said, for here. So I make it more of a sports theme and a bit more generic, and I just add some posters and things like that to the wall, and I end up changing like the little rug that's on the floor. There's the color and stuff like that. And yeah, there's the cat bed. I don't put the cat stuff. I don't think I put the rest of it on camera. I can't remember if I do. I'm sorry, but I basically just add, I think, like the little toy bin outside eventually, and then I add the pet bowl. But the pet bowl I couldn't fit in the kitchen here, so I put it right by the doorway in the living room next to the couch, like in the corner, and I face it towards like the walkway that has more space so the cat can kind of go that way. But yeah, I use a bit, like I said, store items. I like the idea of like the fresh bread basket. Maybe they go to the market or they make the bread themselves, if you wanted to fit in, like if you have the granny's, I think it's the granny's cooking station. I do have these items, but I didn't want to put all of them into this build. But if you have it in your world or something in a save file, it's always great to like, have things like that. I love to add little bits for storytelling that kind of ties in maybe to the world around them too and stuff like that. But yeah, I add, there's like a cute little apron that she uses when she cooks, maybe when she gardens and things like that. And I try to fit like this table here with the 3-seater. Hopefully it works. I will admit I did not play test this build, so if there is a routing issue, I do apologize. It shouldn't be too hard of a fix if that is the case, but I don't think there should really be that many issues. Like I didn't use move objects too many times. I tried to like turn it off when I'm using certain items in certain corners and stuff to make sure that they will actually be placeable and routable like in live mode. And also, does anyone else say live mode or do you say live mode? I'm just curious. I know this is like a big like debatable topic in the Sims community, but I say live mode. Anyway, so yeah, I'm doing the outdoor section. And I do change how this looks because I don't like how that gate looks. But this gate I think is from the store, but it could be from base game. Honestly, I'm not sure. I don't know because sometimes it doesn't label properly in the category thing. And I think that was like kind of like a glitch or something with the store that they just never fixed, because a lot of things will say that they're the Sims 3 base game when really they're not. They're like from the store and it technically their base game, but it doesn't show the store icon, which really like annoys me sometimes. But anyway, yeah. So mini rant there. But I'm doing like pathing and stuff like that. I do a bunch of it for the like backyard section, so you will see there is a walkway in this little corner on the right side of the house if they do want to go from outdoors and walk, to their backyard. But I do have that, in the kitchen, that separate door in case they want to just go through the kitchen to get there. I move all of that stuff. You do see it there, like the planting. I did not like how it looked, and I forgot I wanted to make an actual garden in the backyard anyway, so I completely move all of it and change that idea. So that kind of like ignore that for now because it's not there. And yeah, so I add some details here. Again, a lot of the good stuff was from the store, but I, wanted to make it look like this person does like a lot of gardening and stuff like that. So, we have all of the necessary tools and all of the garments and stuff. So that way when they have to get down the dirt, they start pulling weeds, when have to start harvesting all the fruits and stuff, they have all the proper equipment. And, maybe they're like really been doing gardening for years and years and it's a hobby that they love, or maybe they do it as a freelance career or something, And so I end up doing just like a pathway here, and I don't do it till the end, but I don't know if I put it on camera. I end up putting like a bird bath thing, just like a decor item from like base game, and I put it in the center like there, just so it's not empty, that little space. But yeah, so I add like a little bike rack space. This is on like a 20, I think by 20 lot, but I didn't know if I wanted to put like a little car area or something. I figured maybe this is someone who like lives in the local area with a lot of it's like a walkable local area, so maybe they ride their bike or they have a scooter or something. Maybe they're more eco-friendly or something like that, I like to do things like that sometimes and not like always just go for like a garage, because not every area has like garage space or driveways and things like that. But yes, so here is the garden. I add a lot of stuff. I try to add things that are really good for actual like cooking and stuff like that, for when you need ingredients to make stuff. So I add a bunch of fruit trees. So I think it's apple, cherry, and pomelo trees. Then I do a bit of like the garnishing sort of plants. So I think I did like ginseng and stuff like that. And then there's a bunch of mushrooms, as you can see. I do some pumpkins, and then I also added, I think, some of the grapes from World Adventures. So if maybe there's like a winery, in the world, or they wanted to add, have their own little wine station to make stuff, they can make wine from the grapes that they harvest and they grow in their own garden, and they're really fresh and delicious, and they're very proud of them. But yeah, so I do use a bit of stuff from the fairy core set from the store because I never really use it. So you do see like the little mushroom thing, that's from that. But, just a little decor piece if you don't have it. And then I have this little patio set that I end up doing. I put the umbrella to make it like, even if they sit here out in the sun, it's nice shade and stuff like that. I think I had a fire pit and whatnot, some things to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it that I want to talk about for this. So thank you so much for watching. If you did, I will do a slideshow at the end of this, so stay tuned for that in just a moment. If you did like this, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really, really appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day and take care. Bye now.